All right, so picture this. You're settled, life is good, and then,
Oh, no.
yeah, your partner drops a bombshell.
Uh-oh.
They want to move, like a whole new city.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I've been there.
You have?
Oh, yeah, years ago.
Really?
My significant other at the time got this amazing opportunity,
Oh, wow.
but it was clear across the country.
No way.
Yeah, we're talking like coast-to-coast uproot your whole life kind of stuff.
Oh, my gosh.
And let me tell you, sorting through all of that
Yeah.
was,
Yeah.
well, let's just say it tested the strength of our together goals.
I bet.
So today,
Yeah.
we're diving deep into what makes these situations so tricky,
Oh.
and more importantly,
Yeah.
how to navigate them
Right.
so that you and your partner come out stronger on the other side.
Awesome.
And to help us with this emotional puzzle, we've got a true expert in relationships and transitions joining us.
Well, thank you.
Welcome to the show.
It's great to be here. You've hit the nail on the head.
Oh, good.
These move or stay dilemmas, they're way more common than people think,
Right.
but there's no easy playbook.
I can imagine.
It's really about understanding the human dynamics at play.
Okay, so let's unpack this.
Okay.
We've got a mountain of research listener stories,
Oh, wow.
even a popular podcast dedicated to this
Yeah.
called Moving Forward Together.
Okay.
So where do we even begin?
Well, the bedrock,
Okay.
no matter what anyone tells you,
Uh-huh.
is open communication.
Yeah.
But here's the catch.
Okay.
We're not just talking about surface level chats.
I see.
This is about diving deep into those underlying currents,
Yeah.
those hopes and fears
Right.
that often go unspoken
Yeah.
because, let's face it,
Yeah.
a move,
Right.
it isn't just about changing addresses.
Right.
It's about potentially reshaping your entire world.
Totally. When I was facing that cross-country situation,
Oh, yeah, your story.
yeah, it was like every conversation was loaded.
Oh, yeah.
You know, should I prioritize my career?
Right.
What about our friends?
Yeah.
And all those anxieties about leaving family behind,
Uh-huh.
it was intense.
It is, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those are big,
Big stuff.
big things to think about.
Yeah, for sure.
And what's fascinating is that most couples, initially, they get stuck debating the move itself, like
Okay.
the logistics.
Yeah.
But the real magic happens when you shift the focus to the why.
Okay.
Why this move? Why now?
That's interesting.
Is it a career dream your partner has nurtured for years?
Uh-huh.
A chance to escape a routine that's slowly draining your joy?
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe it's a deeper yearning for personal growth,
Okay.
a chance to reinvent yourselves.
I like that.
Getting to the root of that why
Uh-huh.
helps both of you evaluate if this move truly aligns with your individual and shared goals.
And this is where that Moving Forward Together podcast really shines.
Oh, yeah.
They actually break down different types of moving motivations.
Oh, wow.
Like, for example, they talk about the explorer
Okay.
who thrives on new experience.
Versus the nester who values stability and roots.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Exactly. And by recognizing those underlying motivations, you can start to see the potential benefits for both sides.
Right.
Even if one person is initially hesitant,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I see this move is important to you for X reasons.
Yeah.
And maybe that could actually lead to Y positive outcomes for us as a couple.
Right.
Suddenly you're not just adversaries, you're collaborators trying to figure out how to make this work.
That's such a great point.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to slip into that me versus you mentality
It is.
when you're stressed
Absolutely.
and facing a big unknown.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of the biggest pitfalls I see
Yeah.
is couples getting stuck in a cycle of arguing about the practicalities,
Like what?
the job market, the cost of living,
Yeah.
without addressing the emotional undercurrents.
So how do we prevent that?
That's the question.
How do we keep those conversations constructive even when emotions are running high? This is where validation comes in.
Okay.
Even if you don't fully understand your partner's desire to move,
Uh-huh.
acknowledging their feelings is crucial.
So important.
It's saying, hey, I hear you.
Yeah.
I see this is important to you.
Right.
And I respect that.
Yeah.
Even if I'm feeling scared or uncertain right now.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah,
It's like creating a safe space to be honest without fear of judgment.
exactly.
Yeah.
When you feel heard and understood, it becomes easier to have those tough conversations.
All right.
It's no longer a battle, but a journey you're embarking on together.
And speaking of journeys,
Oh, yeah.
the Moving Forward Together folks,
Uh-huh.
they had some really interesting advice
Okay.
about taking a more active approach
Oh,
to this whole process.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
They talk about turning the decision-making process into a shared exploration.
I like that.
rather than a point of contention.
Right. They actually recommend researching the new city together as a first step.
Yeah.
And not just the practical stuff like housing and jobs,
Right.
but also digging into the culture, the lifestyle, the things that make the city unique.
Okay.
Maybe one of you is a foodie, so you start checking out restaurant reviews. Or perhaps you're both nature lovers, so you explore parks and hiking trails online.
Oh, cool.
The key is to make it a fun, collaborative project that sparks curiosity and excitement rather than dread.
Makes sense.
Right.
And better yet, if it's at all feasible, they recommend planning a visit together.
Oh, for sure.
It's one thing to like scroll through pictures online, but actually experiencing the city firsthand can be a game changer.
It can. It's like test driving a car before you buy it.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
You get a feel for the vibe, the energy, and you can start to envision yourselves living there. Plus, those shared experiences, trying new restaurants, exploring different neighborhoods, can create some amazing memories.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And help solidify your bond as a couple.
Okay.
Even amidst the uncertainty.
Speaking of shared experiences, one of my favorite parts of the Moving Forward Together podcast is their Real Talk segment.
Okay.
Where they share stories from couples who've actually gone through this.
Oh, wow.
Some of their solutions were so creative and inspiring.
Oh, absolutely. Real life examples are so powerful.
I know.
Because they show that there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Right.
What works for one couple might not work for another.
Exactly.
But it's all about finding what resonates with you.
Yeah.
And your unique circumstances.
Like one couple they featured.
Okay.
They were totally stuck in a stalemate.
Oh, no.
He was all gung-ho about moving for this amazing job opportunity. But she was terrified of leaving her family and support network behind.
Oh, wow.
So they did something super practical.
Okay.
They made a good old-fashioned pros and cons list.
Oh, I like that.
But here's the twist. They didn't just list generic things like new job or miss my friends.
Right.
They got really specific and personal.
That's such a smart approach.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in abstract fears or excitement.
For sure.
But forcing yourself to articulate the concrete impacts of the move can bring a lot of clarity.
I see.
For the woman in that story, for instance.
Yeah.
Maybe a con wasn't just leaving my family.
Right.
But missing my niece's birthday parties. Or not being able to help my mom with her garden anymore.
Yeah.
Those tangible details make the decision feel more real.
Right.
And less overwhelming.
Exactly. And on the pros side, maybe it's not just better job, but finally having the financial freedom to travel more, or being able to afford that pottery studio I've always dreamed of.
I love that.
Suddenly the move isn't just about sacrificing things.
Right.
It's about opening up new possibilities for both of you.
And the act of creating that list together fosters collaboration and a sense of shared ownership in the decision-making process.
Oh.
It's no longer your move or my resistance, but our exploration of this potential life change.
Totally. And you know what else I loved?
What's that?
They had another couple
Yeah.
who came up with the brilliant idea of a trial move.
Oh.
They decided to try living in the new city for 6 months
Okay.
before making a permanent decision.
Oh, wow.
It's like a try before you buy approach to relocation.
That's such a great example of how a little flexibility and creative thinking can go a long way.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of the pressure off, right?
Totally.
It's not this huge, irreversible leap,
Right.
but a temporary adventure with the option to reassess
Yeah.
after a set period.
Exactly. And it gives both partners a chance to experience the new city firsthand.
Yeah.
Without feeling like they're making a life-altering commitment.
Right.
If it doesn't feel right.
And even if the move doesn't ultimately work out, that trial period can still be an incredibly valuable learning experience for the couple.
Oh, for sure.
They've gained insights into each other's needs and desires. They've learned to navigate challenges together, and they've strengthened their communication skills.
Absolutely. It's like, even if the move part doesn't stick, the growing closer as a couple part does.
Exactly.
And they had another story where one partner agreed to move, but they made a pact to have monthly visits.
Oh, wow.
To stay connected and support each other during the transition.
That's such a thoughtful way to maintain intimacy and emotional closeness, even when physically separated.
Right.
It demonstrates a commitment to nurturing the relationship, despite the distance.
Right. It's like saying, hey, even though we're not in the same city every day, we're still prioritizing our connection.
Exactly.
And it probably helps alleviate some of that anxiety about growing apart or losing touch.
Absolutely. It's about creating those rituals of connection, whether it's scheduling regular video calls, planning weekend getaways, or even just sending each other little care packages to brighten each other's day.
I love that.
It's like finding those little pockets of togetherness, even when you're miles apart.
Exactly. And, all of these stories highlight something really crucial.
What's that?
The importance of acknowledging the emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
That comes with a potential move.
Oh, absolutely.
It's so easy to get caught up in the logistics.
It is.
And forget that there are real, raw feelings involved.
Right.
Leaving behind your friends, your family, your favorite spots. It's like saying goodbye to a part of yourself.
Absolutely. It's completely normal to feel a sense of grief loss, even fear when faced with the prospect of uprooting your life.
Right.
And it's essential to create a space where both partners can express those feelings openly and honestly without judgment.
Right. The Moving Forward Together podcast really hit home.
Yeah.
When they talked about the importance of acknowledging those feelings.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to grieve what you're leaving behind.
It's like suppressing those emotions only leads to resentment and tension.
Right.
It's about creating that safe space where you can both be vulnerable and support each other through the emotional ups and downs.
When you do that, you can start to process the change together as a team rather than feeling like you're going through it alone.
It transforms the experience from one of potential isolation to one of shared resilience.
That's good.
And that can ultimately strengthen the bond between partners.
It's funny because when I think back to my own experience with that long distance thing.
Yeah, your story.
It was tough.
Yeah.
But it also taught us so much about communication and trust.
What's fascinating is that even in the midst of challenges, relationships have this remarkable capacity to adapt and evolve.
I like that.
It's about finding ways to support each other's growth while also nurturing the connection that brought you together in the first place.
So what does all this mean for our listener who might be facing this very situation?
It means that moving, while a huge decision, doesn't have to be a deal breaker. It can actually be an opportunity for growth.
Oh, wow.
Both individually and as a couple.
But
it requires open communication, a willingness to compromise, and a whole lot of support for each other along the way.
And who knows, maybe this move could even end up being the best thing that ever happened to your relationship.
Now, wouldn't that be something?
It would. But let's be realistic. Even with all the best intentions in communication, some moves just don't work out.
That's true.
Yeah.
And that's okay, too.
Right.
It's important to remember that relationships are fluid, and sometimes paths diverge.
Yeah.
The key is to approach these situations with honesty, respect.
And a willingness to learn from the experience.
So if our listener is sitting there thinking, okay, this is all great advice. But what if we tried everything and we're still stuck? What would you say?
That's a valid concern. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, we reach an impasse. And that's where seeking professional guidance can be incredibly helpful.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need that outside perspective, someone who can help you see the forest for the trees,
Exactly.
And maybe untangle some of those emotional knots that can form when you're in the thick of it.
Precisely, a therapist or counselor, they can provide a safe and neutral space to explore your feelings, improve communication patterns, and develop strategies for conflict resolution. They can also offer tools and techniques specifically designed to help couples navigate major life transitions like relocation. It's like having a relationship coach in your corner.
Exactly.
Someone who's been there and can guide you through the rough patches.
Exactly. And remember, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness.
Oh, for sure.
It shows that you're both committed to making the relationship work. And willing to put in the effort to grow together. Even when things get tough.
Well said. And speaking of growing together. I think it's important to circle back to that core message from Moving Forward Together. Moving is a huge decision.
It is.
No doubt about it. But with open communication, compromise, and a willingness to support each other, couples can face this challenge and come out stronger on the other side.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
It's about approaching the situation as a team with a shared vision for the future and a commitment to navigating the inevitable ups and downs together.
And sometimes that means getting creative.
Oh, yeah.
Trying out different solutions. And maybe even stepping outside your comfort zones a bit.
Absolutely. Relationships thrive on growth and evolution.
That's true.
And sometimes those changes, even the ones that feel scary at first, can lead to unexpected adventures and a deeper connection than ever before.
Okay. But before we let our listener go, I have to ask you, what's that one final thought-provoking question that you always leave people with?
Oh, okay.
You know, the one that makes them really think.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, so for our listener who's wrestling with this move, I'd ask this. If your partner is moving for their growth, how could that growth ultimately benefit the relationship as a whole?
Whoa.
Something to ponder, right?
Mind blown. That's so good.
Yeah.
Because it flips the script right. It's not just about the potential loss, but also the potential gain that this change could bring to both of you.
Exactly. It encourages a shift in perspective, inviting us to see the opportunity within the challenge. After all, when one partner grows, the relationship has the potential to expand as well.
I love it. So to our listener out there facing this big decision, we're sending you all the good vibes and support.
Absolutely.
Remember, open communication is key.
So important.
Compromise is your friend. And don't be afraid to seek guidance when you need it.
Right.
You've got this.
And never underestimate the power of love and a shared vision for the future.
That's beautiful.
Here's to new adventures and even stronger connections.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us today.
It was my pleasure.